For the second part of assignment 4, we're going to be making a cityscape or a street view using 2-point perspective, and we're going to be using the ruler tool to do this. So with my ruler on, I'm going to put my horizon line about in the middle of my canvas for this one. Ruler tool off and put in your vanishing points. 2 vanishing points because it is 2-part perspective. Now, I like to use different layers when I'm doing a complex project like this because it saves me a lot of time erasing things later. So in 2-point perspective, you have vertical lines or you have lines that carry into your vanishing points. So my first vertical line is going to be the front corner of my foreground building, and it is going to extend above and below my horizon line. Now from the top of this line, I'll line it up with this vanishing point. Oh, I switched tools. And I'll decide how big I want this building to be. So I have this as my vertical line, and I'll finish off. Then while I'm here, I'm also going to put in the corner of my sidewalk that is going to be out in front of the buildings. Got a little stray mark that needs erased there. I can also clean up these edges. I had some lines kind of go over. Remember, all my lines have to go back through that one vanishing point. If I turn off my horizon line, I can see that I'm starting to get the buildings that I'm drawing. So now using the same technique, I'm going to continue to put in different buildings the way I feel like I want them. And you can do this however you want. You don't have to copy exactly what I'm doing. You can put in tall, skinny buildings. You can put in short, wide buildings. You can do buildings with arches. You can have pointy towers. You can do whatever you want. Just make sure that you're following the rules for 2-point perspective and that your orthogonal lines are going back into your vanishing point and all of your up and down lines are all vertical lines. Okay, with my ruler back off, I'm going to go in with my eraser, clean up any messy edges or stray marks that I may have made. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to start putting in the details of my cityscape. I'm going to put in some windows, I'm going to put lines on the sidewalk, so I'm going to continue from here. Now I'm going to add more of my details on a different layer. The reason I use a new layer for this is I've got all my building edges everywhere where I want them, and if I mess up a window or a doorway or something, I don't want to have to go back in and accidentally erase all my lines that I already like trying to get out something that I'm trying to do in a finer detail. So I'll need my vanishing point layer back on for this one as well. Now from here, if I want to carry the detail further, I'm going to make another layer, and this is where I'm going to start thinking about shading my edges, making it look a little more three-dimensional inside the windows. Because the buildings look three-dimensional, but the windows and the doors and everything are still just kind of pasted over the top of it. Once you have your shading and your finer details in, this is when you can have a lot of fun with your assignment. I've decided that my cityscape needs a monster. How big of a monster? Big enough that he can probably destroy my city pretty easily, but small enough that Captain America can take him out when he decides to show up. I want to have my monster interact with my city rather than just appear behind it, and this is why I've set my drawing up in different layers. I'm going to go back to the layer where I have the edges of the buildings, and I'm going to take out pieces of that my monster has destroyed or chewed on as he's attacking my city. Once you've put in all the details that you want, step back and look at your work as a whole. See if there's any lines that don't make sense or stray marks that are messing up your work. Here I've decided that I don't like the way his arm is curving around the building, and so I need to go into the layer where I've drawn that, erase it, and change the angle of it so it looks more realistic.